Serious. What is it like to have children you don't want? This is kinda crazy because I was just thinking about this today. I'm not gonna use a throwaway or anything. Not that I think anyone on here would actually know me. When you have a kid you kinda get this idea in your head on how things are gonna be, how you're going to teach them things, share special moments as they learn and have this cool amazing bond. Then your kid comes into this world and is not at all what you expect. My kid is special needs and has major developmental delays. He's 2 and basically just lives in his own world, doesn't communicate, doesn't respond to his name and has basically missed every single milestone out there. So you feel regret, despair, and a whole bunch of other negative stuff, especially guilt. It wasn't his fault he came into the world this way. He didn't ask to be here. So there's a lot of complex emotions going on. However bad it makes me feel though, I just kind of wish he didn't exist. For instance, as I was writing this, I went to the bathroom and in the 3 minutes I was gone he took a dump, forced both his hands into his diaper and smeared shit all over his face and pin and everywhere else. Now my whole apartment reeks and I had a half hour of cleanup because I left my toddler alone for all of 3 minutes. This isn't the first time this has happened. I just can't connect with him and it has me feeling like I'm just his caretaker rather than his dad. Edit. I've never really had a virtual Reddit hug like this. It was honestly really helpful and made me feel a lot better. So thanks everyone. I had so many people message me and there's so many comments I couldn't ever respond to them all. However, I read everything. I appreciate it. I really do. I also want to address a few comments. First off, I love my son. God knows I have some bad days, but signing over my parental rights simply isn't an option. I have lots and lots of family support, and his mom is always there to make us both feel better. She understands us both. My kid is enrolled in various programs and is already getting treatment. He is making progress and is starting to use very simple words even if it doesn't make any sense. I really know my kid is in there somewhere. We had one event about a month ago where he answered a question with a 3-word sentence. He even included the word I don't understand it at all or how it fits into everything else. I really want to believe he's in there somewhere and will eventually get to a point where he can communicate basic needs and follow some basic instructions. We're just gonna keep on doing what we can. Hey man, make sure you reach out to your government for support if such a thing exists. If not, try and find someone to help. Cause caregiver burnout, parental burnout for parents of special needs children is a super real thing. You aren't weak for needing help. You aren't a bad parent. You are a parent for a child with extraordinary needs and you need extraordinary support to help. Take care. I have custody of my brother's kids. I didn't want them. I already have one of my own. My brother's kids are not as well behaved as my children. It is very frustrating. I love them. I will protect them and take care of them. I find myself very upset by the fact that I just can't seem to love them as much as my children. It's depressing. I hate myself because I feel this way. I wish it was just my children a lot of the times. My brother's kids put a strain on my marital relationship, because they act out so much. My brother is homeless and addicted to drugs, with really no hope of him getting better. Heroin sucks. I just wish it would go back to a family of 3. 7 is just too much for most things. Want a regular-sized vehicle with smaller monthly payments and lower insurance? Nope. Gotta have something that seats 7 or more. Holidays? Got a plan on a family size of 7 instead of 3. It's frustrating. I try so hard to not let my nieces and nephews see that I struggle with this. But kids are smart and I know they pick up on this. I hate that I can't just be happy with this, at least for their sake. Can't talk to family about it. I am this hero who took the kids so they wouldn't end up in foster care or group homes. But I'm really not a hero. I stepped up because no one else would. But I don't think I'm cut out for it. Edit. Thank you to everyone who responded with kind words. I didn't expect this to get so much attention. I saw an opportunity to vent and so I took it. I have had these kids for almost 7 years now. I love them and I will see this through until they are grown and on their own. I don't know any of you, but your kind words help. Thank you so much. Edit 2. For anyone wondering why I made a throwaway account for this post, my nephews and my son both have Reddit. They know my Reddit name, and if they saw this I would absolutely die inside. Edit. This post is getting a lot of attention. Had to change some details to remain anonymous. Hey, that is an incredible and selfless thing you are doing. I don't believe your feelings are your fault or even that they are wrong. I do think you should maybe talk to an experienced family therapist. They may be able to help both you and your sister's children. You're making the best of a bad situation. Don't beat yourself up because you're not perfect. Hang in there. A hero is someone who steps up when others don't. What you have done is amazing, and I don't hand out praise often. Your kids won't resent you, they will understand with time. Your sister's kids will see what you have done for them in time. If you have any family who can support you, then reach out. 4 kids is a heavy weight and you cannot let your quality of life drop. Keep your marriage safe, your children safe, and do your best with your sister's kids. As for their behavior, you will want to get them in line with your kids, obviously through discipline, but they will always have the idea that their mum picked something else over them in their minds and could behave worse before they behave better. This is a story of a very close friend of mine, on a bit different note, but I guess it could fit, in some light. He was abused as a kid, violence and mentally, by both parents, and was scared of ever even getting close to kids, in a fear he would hurt them in some way. He is generally a really meek, but caring person, like a total opposite of what he got at home. This was his just coping mechanism, as kids literally clung to him. Then he met a loving woman and they married. She slowly warmed him up to being around younglings. It helped. She works in preschool/daycare, and finally they, both, decided it's okay to go. 2 attempts, sadly, and little over a year later he was holding small baby in his arms, his eyes, his hair, her face, her smile. He told me, during the pregnancy he was super happy, and did everything he could for his wife and future junior. He started loving it truly, and when he felt it kicking, he was internally overflowed with happiness, that a small human was growing there, and he, or she will have dreams, laughs and hurdles. Yet, standing there, he felt nothing. Like no spark, no love, no happiness, no resentment, no joy, nothing. He was holding small, hot, moving piece of meat which he had absolutely no attachment to. It crushed him. Talk with wife crushed him even more. He did everything he could to care for her in hope he will grow to love. But it never came. As soon as time allowed, he went into therapy, and after 3 years heard that sometimes this just happens. His daughter is now 6, is healthy and happy, as far as I can tell, but I heard my share of his pain. He feels inferior as a human, for deceiving his daughter, and he powers through it by sheer willpower and effort. If I can't love her, at least I will still try to give her something I couldn't have, caring home. He told me exactly once, that he really regrets agreeing to have a kid. But I could feel his shame. His wife is wonderful person enough to accept him, like this. She told us, my fiancé is more of her support than I am. She wanted more kids, but she is really afraid to put more on him. Raising one will be enough of a challenge for them, that's for sure. I know he will keep all his promises and words, but it already takes a toll on him. I think this is what happened with my dad. Luckily, fake it till you make it seems to work well enough. Now that I'm an independent adult, he has expressed that of course you're my kid, but honestly I just enjoy hanging out with you. I can respect that. Even if he didn't feel love, he helped me grow and supports me, and if a friendship level of respect is all he can muster, I know that's not my fault. I think your friend and his kid will probably be okay. It set the tone for the rest of my life. One of those hindsight is 20/20 things. I honestly believe if I'd never had a kid, particularly as young and alone as I was in a very socially backwards area, I'd have made a lot more of myself. I know that could be taken as self-rationalization for lack of trying and failures. But I also know how I felt, how I have never bonded with my kid, and how both our lives could have been a lot better had I either waited to have her, or let another couple adopt her like I wanted but was forced out of the choice.